Chaotic neutral versus chaotic evil. What's the functional difference between these two alignments? One acts like an irredeemable douche who commits crimes and plans to kill everything it sees, claiming it's totally what their character would do. The other one is chaotic evil. Hey, what's up everybody, I'm SkyDieRay and welcome to another DnDGreentext. This is episode 61, I think. Of course I know the episode number, what do you mean, dude? Anyway, yeah, without any further ado, enjoy the video. Have comfy weekend-long sessions once a month at the lake cabin for the last 3 years. 3 out of 5 players bought dogs in the last year. Sessions dropped off completely due to players not having people to look after their mutts. Finally cave in and say if they want, they can bring their dogs out. Weekend consists of a bunch of yappy, undisciplined dogs fighting, barking, nipping, pissing and shitting everywhere, while knocking over drinks and snatching snacks off tables and counters. Most of the time is spent quarreling animals and waiting for their owners while they take them out on walks. Everyone visibly exhausted with being trapped with so many dogs. Worst weekend we ever had. After 2 months of no sessions, tell the dog owners that the game is done. Other 2 non-pet owners want to keep going and bring in a few friends. New players are great. Sessions going steady again. Old players hear about us playing. Say they'd like to come out again. One has already asked if they can bring their mutt out. The f is wrong with people? Honesty, courage, compassion, honor and duty as virtues. Honesty, by telling people that yes, they actually are that ugly. Courage, by killing people who go against your convictions. Compassion, by making their deaths quick and painless. Honor, by only taking orders from the Lord of the Nine Hells whom you owe your unwavering devotion. Duty, by carrying out those orders without fault. I see nothing wrong with having a devotion cleric that is lawful evil. It is I, the worst D&D class. Weird looking fighter, but alright. 5th edition.jpg? But that isn't a ranger. Ranger can be improved the moment the DM allows anything that isn't just the core. The monk's core has not been addressed at all because Wizards of the Coast refuses to adjust for monk's key points. Just doubling the key points alone makes the monk far more playable than it is. Be me. Introduce group of friend to D&D. DM at game store. Doing good feels good. A few months in and another group plops down at the next table. All the players are craning their necks to listen. After session they're like, oh my god, that guy did voices. That DM told his players where to go. That was so cool, he did all those voices. 2 years later, they still talk about that one good DM at the other table. It was one of my gaming group's first campaigns, and it was a glorious train wreck. Oddly, the entire thing was based on a series of critical successes and failures at odd moments. So, relatively sedate start, hunting down some kobolds. One of our party gets an instant kill, rolls 3 20s in a row, an amazing achievement entirely wasted on killing a free-held kobold. Anyway, the adventure continues. Things get complicated with a shopkeep, due to a rather amazing crit on an intimidate check by our cleric. Don't ask, and a rather poor result. Read, critical failure. On the gnome's own roll. The old guy died from a heart attack. There was, naturally, a witness. I decided to stop him with a crossbow bolt. Intimidation only. Roll comes up 1. DM declares that not only did my character fail to miss the fleeing witness, he managed to put a crossbow bolt through his neck. Witness kills over, dead on the spot. Suffice to say, the entire party wound up in court for a triple homicide. A random bystander bled out in the chaos of our attempt at escaping the city guards. It should have been a done deal, but our bard pulls off the stupidest critical success on a bluff check, while affected by a zone of truth, so he couldn't even lie. Standard procedure in the city we were in. DM can't quite believe what's happening, but he rolls with it and he downgrades the punishment from execution to exile, sacrificing an entire planned story arc in the process. So, an hour later, our party is on an airship, on our way to some distant colony as far as possible from the capital. The cleric was sentenced to hard labor during the trip for resisting arrest, nothing we could do about it. Then the cleric decides to lead an uprising among the laborers of the ship, rolls a critical success on his check to convince the coaling crew to rise up and fight for freedom, and suddenly we're all involved in the mutiny. The mutiny is a success. The officers are killed and our party, alongside much of the crew, declare ourselves sky pirates. The DM then took everything he'd made for the colony we've been exiled to, tore the papers to shreds, and quit. First time I've seen a DM on the verge of crying. That was 3 sessions, by the way. Dude, as bad as I feel about the DM, I really like how that story turned out. I wish the DM didn't quit so we would have more story here, but yeah, that's... Start as a Warlock with the Old One's patron due to poorly understood occult research. Eventually end up selling your soul to a devil. Multiclass Warlock, Warlock. What? Find yourself dealing with Fae a lot. Make a deal with the Archfey in order to save the lives of the party. Multiclass Warlock, Warlock, Warlock. What the f? Possibly Prophet? He thinks this is multiclassing. His Warlocks don't sell their souls to at least 4 different Eldritch entities without each other's knowledge. His Warlocks don't have their patrons realize what has happened at an exact time of his choosing, knowing that by Eldritch law they will have to go to war with each other upon the Warlock's demise for the claim of the Warlock's soul. His patrons don't start working like hell to make sure his Warlocks stay alive. And this is basic Warlock. Epilogue of campaign is just pick related. I don't know what that pick is, it's really small. Spoilers for Descent into Avernus. Be me, DM. Players running on Tormentor. Narrate giant demon grinder behind them. Have a large map for a chase. Wizard rolls initiative. What are you gonna do about that monster? Wizard. I cast Fireball. Okay, don't make the save. Wizard. With the magic shield, I have 21. Okay, they can't save from that. Roll damage. 27. Above mishap threshold. Okay, let's roll mishap. 20. Demon grinder flips. Flipping can be fixed. Wizard's face when he ends the chase with a single fireball. Playing a rogue. Someone looks over the sheet and notices that he's a neutral evil. Tries to make a big stink about it. The table has an interesting discussion about alignment. Describe how my rogue has quite good impulse control, but is still a bad person regardless. Spend my time with the party. Most of the group has good banter going on, and my rogue always knows a guy who knew a guy who... The guy who tried to tattle has split off from us, and ransacked at least one room in every building we've been in. There is a rumbling underneath the sand. The players look at the DM with annoyance. Wizard, you can't be serious. DM, what? You're totally ripping off Tremors. I don't know what you're talking about. Then why are we fighting a graboid? It's not a graboid. Okay, then what is it? It's a desert serpent. A desert serpent? Yeah. Okay, how did it tell where we were? It, made a perception check. How? It's got no eyes. It sensed you. How? By feeling vibrations. Ha! I knew it was a graboid. It's not a graboid. Now can we get on with the game? Yeah. I guess. Fine. Okay, so as you run away, you run into a knight named Sir Bacon. Oh, for f***'s sake. Our homages no longer want to have gaming tables. Throw out suggestions about what we could do or where we could play. Offer my own place and a couple other solutions. The GM wants to game online. I like gaming face to face and say so. That face when they ghosted me. It's been 2 weeks since anyone in the group has talked to me. I just like seeing everyone. This one hits too close to home. I like in-person games because we can act and react in real time. Plus when a joke gets rolling, it's fun to see everyone laugh and keep it going. I don't have him anymore, but I once had a Dragon Quest player who wanted to roll up a Shapeshifter. Shapeshifters are kind of like Bjorn from The Hobbit, more or less lycanthropes with an alternate beast form, but they are under conscious control of where and when they transform. The beast form is pretty damn powerful, so they give up some huge mechanical penalties to take the racial subtype, most notably a 1.9 experience purchase penalty. If it costs a human 100 experience to buy a rank in a skill or a weapon or a spell or whatever, it costs the Shapeshifter 190. So here we have our moron who rolls up a Shapeshifter, and outside of one particular instance near the beginning of the game, where he goes through a rite of passage for his tribe of Shapeshifters, he never once uses the ability for the entire campaign. The most internally consistent explanation for how exactly a Warlock gets his powers from his patron, as the class is presented in 5th edition, is as such. A representative of a non-mortal cosmic power grants you a shard of its own power that you can grow and nurture through your own growth and advancement in the world. The patron possibly asks you to do some things for it first, though not necessarily, and in truth, the task was actually pretty easy considering what you got for it. In truth, this cost was not necessary in any way, and was probably a red herring to make you not question why this cosmic power, that doesn't give many f***s about your personal success, is offering you for free what wizards have to train for most of their childhoods and some of their adulthood to achieve. What the cosmic entity stands to gain from giving you your power is simple. Power growth. It loses a relatively small amount of its power for a limited amount of time, and eventually, when you die your final death, which you will because you're mortal, it gets that power back with interest. It is the power equivalent of a bank loan, and they're the power equivalent of loan officers. You want to try and use your infernal power for good, or your eldritch power for not bringing about the apocalypse. Sure, you're mortal and your patron isn't. Any amount of progress against your patron's goals you can hope to accomplish in your mortal lifetime pales in comparison to what your patron will accomplish with whatever power you had at your strongest over the course of eternity. You're not some pawn in the cosmic fight for the balance. You're a single modest investment in the diversified investment portfolio, funding a small portion of the logistics behind the cosmic fight for the balance. If you actually manage to make level 20, you're a pretty damn good investment at that. Enough to significantly increase the status of your patron in his own demonic or fey or celestial court upon your death. Nerf or nothing, that JPEG. Be me. Have friends. Try to run anything except D&D for them, and they pretend to be interested but find every excuse not to make characters, miss sessions, barely pay attention, etc. Even mention D&D once, even to say I don't like it. Suddenly they start getting excited and asking if I'm thinking of running it, making characters before I've agreed, and offering to clear their schedules. Just this entire hobby sometimes. You had me at D&D, Anon, let's play. Friends who never played an RPG before. Okay. Tell them I'll make pre-gens for them and bring dice. Just be there. Okay. Make characters for Paladin Fantasy 2nd edition. Make sure to remove any references to the system from the sheet. Run them through an introductory session. They love it. Eventually plan on running other Paladin games like Ninjas and Super Spies. They still don't know it's not D&D. What times were you sneaky beaky, Anons? DM tells us there is a group of goblins worshipping a golden tablet we need for a quest. I come up with the idea to turn one of us invisible, hold up the tablet and tell them that their god has come. The only one who knows Goblin is our 6'8" barbarian with an intelligence of 7. Dude can't even count on his fingers. He rolls high enough to convince them. He tells them that they must sacrifice themselves for him. Natural 20. All 29 goblins line up as the shaman decapitates them all. He keeps the shaman as a pet. Oh. Okay, that was great, what the f. This is going to come off as weird as f. I'm still processing it myself. Online game. Warned beforehand that it will have adult content. Female red Sonia-ish cleric has a noble son make aggressive advances on her. Agrees to fight him. She loses. I think she deliberately threw the fight and sleeps with him. One PC keeps insisting she was raped and constantly tries to step up to defend her honor and comfort her. He's a rogue. Female PC keeps sleeping with Noble, makes it clear she likes him. Rogue PC sends her a long rant on how he's been unlucky in love, how his previous e-girlfriend who played a Kuribo deck died, and how he never found anyone else. She saves the whole thing and sends this autism-fueled rant to all of us. Rogue PC throws an immense fit. Girl announces she's marrying the Noble and retiring her character. Rogue PC reads. Be Paladin, level 5, Oath of Vengeance, V-Human Great Weapon Master. Find F***boy Ladyboy, Duke responsible for murdering Paladin's younger sister in backstory, now betrothed to Paladin's other sister. DM says it looks like my guy can take him in a fight. Use Deception to pretend to be some weak-ass scrub. Use Persuasion to challenge him to a public duel to the death. No resurrections after the fact, ever. Duke agrees. Fight next day in the arena. Basically the whole damn kingdom is watching. Highly publicized. He's some kind of monk. Magic mole ready. No buffs before the fight. Fair enough. In it. Boy Ladyboy goes first. Triple attack because he's a martial arts adept. Everyone can stun. Keep failing always at least one con save. Spend whole fight stun locked. Don't get to do anything. He keeps triple attacking and stunning me. Drops me. When I'm unconscious, he puts on my dead sister's heels, he was already wearing different heels, and stomps me through each eye with both. DM and other players are all, well, that's just tough luck, guy. That was a CR3. Why does this game suck so much ass? This week's session is cancelled. The self-appointed forever GM will get pouty if someone asks if they can run something instead. If someone else does run a game, he refuses to attend and acts like we're excluding him. Forever GM will get pouty if someone asks if they can run something instead. I would be overjoyed, holy sh**. I'm not sure why the DM would refuse to let someone else run a game for the week. Alright, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to leave a like if you did and subscribe for more if you're not subscribed yet. Also hit the bell for notifications, haven't hit the bell yet. And thank you also to all the Patreon supporters, I really appreciate it if you are one of them. Also, if you want to become one, there's a link below, or you can go to patreon.com/SkyDieRay. There's a link below for that, and there's also links below to all the social media if you want to join the Discord server or whatever. And yeah, that's it. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Have a great day, bye.